As soon as BJP-sponsored Chief Minister Maharashtra started insulting the Marathi man and Shiv Sena, if the group that came out on self-pride is going to keep silent even after hearing this, then don't mention the name of Shiv Sena. CM Shinde at least condemned the governor. This is an insult to the Marathi hard-working people. Listen. This is what Sanjay Raut is saying. He is urging Shinde to lock horns with the governor, saying if you have any pride left, then you have to speak up. All right, let's go across to Herman to get some perspective on this. Herman, how is Shinde going to react to this statement? Because Raut, they're challenging him, saying if you care about the Marathi people's sentiment, then you have to counter this. On the other hand, we've also seen Uddhav Thackeray really play down that Marathi Manos line. Even during the COVID pandemic, he told people, you are ours, and above and beyond, he gave them free trains to go back to their native towns across the country, which actually did not go well with the locals of Maharashtra, who felt they did not get the same leeway to go back to their villages, but people across the country did.
Well, Shilpa, as I was pointing out earlier, is that the Eknath Shinde faction too has been right from the day one, ever since the rebellion did break out, had been stating that they are the original Shiv Sena. It was built by the late Balasaheb Thackeray, and they were following, in fact, his teachings. And that is the reason as to why they decided to break away from Uddhav Thackeray. Now, during this even in the past, we've seen whether it was Mr. late Balasaheb Thackeray or the others from the Shiv Sena, they've time and again one has seen in the past such sort of remarks coming in saying that Mumbai belongs to Mumbaikars alone. But as you're pointing out, during the Mahavikas Aghadi term, things were a little bit different as far as the functioning of the government was concerned. Now, in the backdrop of that, you have now this statement now being made by Bhagat Singh Koshyari, which is expected, as I was saying, not going to go down too well. But what could be really interesting is to see as to what does the Eknath Shinde camp have to say about the same. Because Sanjay Raut from Uddhav Thackeray's faction has already trained his guns on the governor, and therefore this is expected to become a politically, a big UN cry is what one can expect probably in the next few hours or so. Because so far we have not heard what the Congress as well as the NCP has to say about the same.
Well, Herman, we have seen Eknath Shinde checkmate the original Sena quite a few times in the recent past, and even this ploy of Sanjay Raut might be very ably handled by the Eknath Shinde camp. What are you picking up from your sources? How would they react to such a predicament where the governor has said that this Marathi Manu sentiment will not work in this cosmopolitan city, and you cannot now ask Gujaratis and Rajasthanis to go back challenging that old sentiment of the Shiv Sena. I won't repeat that lungi pungi line, but that's what they've always stood by.
Well, yes, as far as sources are concerned, what we are picking up is that because, as I was pointing out, you have the administrative polls as far as the BMC and all are concerned, you could have the Eknath Shinde faction that could probably distance itself from what Bhagat Singh Koshyari, the governor of Maharashtra, has said, because it is a politically sensitive comment. At the same time, you have the upcoming local municipal polls, including the critical BMC polls, where right now, it is the Shiv Sena that holds sway. But the BJP too is planning to make inroads this time. But in that particular context, as to what that is remains to be seen. But from all likelihood, what we are picking up, Shilpa, from our sources, is that in most likelihood, Eknath Shinde camp could in fact distance themselves from such a remark.
All right, Herman, request you to stay with us while we have